They are waiting for you to break. They want to see the fire in your eyes and the tremor in your voice. Most people believe that responding is a sign of strength. They think that the loudest person in the room wins the argument. But they are fundamentally wrong. True power does not shout. True power sits in the heavy silence that follows an insult. It is the ability to remain unmoved when the world demands a reaction.
Think about the last time someone tried to provoke you. Perhaps it was a passive-aggressive comment at work. Maybe it was a family member digging for an old wound. In that split second, your heart rate spiked. Your blood began to boil with the urge to defend your character. You felt the words bubbling up in your throat. You wanted to strike back with a clever retort to shut them down forever. This is the exact moment where most people lose their freedom. When you react, you become a puppet to their agenda. You allow a stranger or an enemy to dictate your internal state. You give them the remote control to your emotions. This video is not about being passive or weak. It is about the psychological dominance found in absolute stillness. We will explore why silence is the most sophisticated weapon you possess. Today, we examine the art of the unbothered mind. We will peel back the layers of human psychology to see why provocateurs exist. You will learn how to turn their energy back onto themselves. By the end of this exploration, you will understand a profound truth. Silence is not just the absence of noise. It is the presence of total self-mastery. Prepare to change the way you view every conflict in your life.
Why do people feel the need to provoke others? It is rarely about you, and almost always about their own internal lack. A provocateur is someone who feels small and seeks to feel large by controlling you. They are fishing for a specific chemical response in your brain. They need your anger to validate their existence. When you get angry, you prove that they have power over your reality. You become an extension of their will.
This is a biological trap designed by our primitive ancestors. Our brains are wired for the fight or flight response. When someone attacks our status, our amygdala signals an emergency. It demands that we protect our ego at all costs. But in the modern world, this survival mechanism is often a liability. The person provoking you knows this instinctively. They are hoping your biology will override your logic. They want you to be a slave to your instincts. Every time you snap back, you leak valuable energy. Think of your attention and your peace as a form of currency. When you argue with a fool, you are making a bad investment. You are spending your life force on a conflict that yields no profit. Most people live in a state of constant emotional bankruptcy. They react to every tweet, every comment, and every slight. They are exhausted because they have no filters for their engagement. The root of the problem is the fear of being perceived as weak. We worry that if we stay silent, people will think we are defeated. This fear is a cage that keeps you small. It forces you to play a game where the rules are written by your enemies. Realize that the need to prove yourself is a confession of insecurity. The truly strong have nothing to prove to those who do not matter. Your silence is the ultimate gatekeeper. The first step toward mastery is the spectator mindset. You must learn to step outside of your own emotions during a conflict. Imagine you are a scientist observing a strange biological specimen. When someone insults you, do not take it personally. Instead, observe their behavior with clinical curiosity. Notice the way their face flushes and how their voice rises. View their provocation as a data point rather than an attack. This detachment creates a protective shield around your mind. Within this shield, you find the sacred pause. Between the stimulus and the response, there is a space. In that space lies your power and your freedom. Most people skip the pause and jump straight to the reaction, but the master expands the pause until it becomes a kingdom. You choose exactly how to respond, or if you should respond at all. Silence is often the most eloquent response available. It leaves the provocateur with nowhere to place their anger. Consider the Stoic philosophers who viewed insults as nothing more than noise. If someone calls a rock a diamond, it does not change the rock. If someone calls a wise man a fool, the wise man remains unchanged. The insult only has power if you accept it as a gift. If you refuse the gift, it remains with the giver. You are not responsible for the nonsense that leaves another person's mouth. You are only responsible for the peace within your own heart. This shift in perspective changes the entire dynamic of power. You are no longer a participant in their drama. You are a witness to their lack of self-control. By staying silent, you force the other person to sit with their own poison. They expect a spark to start a fire, but you provide no fuel. Eventually, their own flame will consume them. This is the first realization of the silent warrior. Your peace is non-negotiable and entirely under your control.
Silence acts as a psychological mirror. When you do not respond, you create a vacuum that the other person must fill. People are naturally uncomfortable with silence in the heat of an argument. They will keep talking to fill the void. As they talk more, they begin to reveal their own insecurities. They might start to stutter or repeat themselves. They become aware of how ridiculous they sound when there is no feedback loop. Your silence forces them to face their own reflection.
This is a counterintuitive strategy that works in every social setting. By withholding your reaction, you deny them the satisfaction of a win. They are looking for a hook to hang their next argument on. When you stay silent, you give them nothing to grab. They are left swinging at shadows in an empty room. The more they try to provoke you, the more desperate they look to observers. You maintain your dignity while they slowly lose theirs. It is the ultimate psychological upper hand. Silence is also a tool for deep observation. While they are shouting, you are gathering information. You are seeing their triggers and their psychological blind spots. You are learning what makes them tick without saying a single word. Knowledge is power, and silence is the best way to acquire it. A person who talks too much eventually tells you everything you need to know to defeat them. You are playing a long game, while they are playing for the moment. Wait for the right time to speak. Silence also projects an aura of mystery and authority. People fear what they cannot understand or predict. When you react, you are predictable and easy to manage. When you stay silent, you become an enigma. Others will begin to wonder what you are thinking and what you are capable of. This uncertainty creates a natural respect and a boundary. You become the eye of the hurricane, a point of stillness that cannot be moved. Use this weapon wisely and sparingly for maximum effect. There is a high cost to ignoring the power of silence. Every time you lose your temper, you chip away at your own character. People will remember the way you lost control long after they forget the argument. A single moment of reactive anger can destroy years of built-up reputation. It can ruin professional relationships and poison intimate bonds. You cannot take back words once they have been spoken into the world. They linger like smoke in a room long after the fire is out. Reactive people are never respected as leaders. The climax of this problem is the loss of the self. If you allow everyone to provoke you, you have no center. You are simply a collection of reactions to outside stimuli. You lose the ability to think clearly and make rational decisions. Your life becomes a series of fires that you are constantly trying to put out. This leads to chronic stress and a shortened lifespan. The body cannot handle the constant flood of cortisol from unnecessary conflict. You are literally killing yourself for people who do not care about you.
Imagine instead a life of profound internal peace. Picture yourself walking through a crowded market of chaos and noise. People are shouting and pushing, but you are walking at your own pace. You hear everything, but internalize nothing. You are like a deep lake that remains still even when a stone is thrown in. The ripples appear on the surface, but the depths are untouched. This is the goal of self-mastery. It is the state of being truly untouchable by the opinions of others.
Silence is the ultimate expression of self-respect. It says that your peace is too valuable to be traded for a cheap argument. It says that you are the master of your own house. Next time someone tries to provoke you, remember this. You have the power to simply walk away or stay silent. You do not owe anyone a response. Embrace the void and watch how the world changes around you. Stay silent, stay strong, and stay in control of your destiny.
We must understand that provocation is rarely about you. It is a manifestation of the other person's inner chaos. When someone attacks your character or intelligence, they are often projecting their own deep-seated insecurities. They seek to pull you down into their emotional storm because misery loves company. By provoking you, they attempt to validate their own suffering. They want to see if you are as broken as they feel inside. This behavior is known as the mirror effect in psychological circles. When a person cannot handle their own flaws, they search for those same flaws in others. If they cannot find them, they will try to create them through agitation. They want you to react so they can point the finger and call you the aggressor. This shifts the focus away from their own internal pain. It is a defense mechanism born from a lack of self-awareness. Humans have a primitive need for validation through conflict. In the ancient world, physical dominance ensured survival. In the modern world, this has mutated into psychological dominance. Provocation is a test of hierarchy. If you react, you have entered their arena. If you lose your cool, you have subconsciously acknowledged their power over your state of mind. Understanding this dynamic is the first step toward true mastery. Their words are merely echoes of their own shadows. Every insult is a confession of the speaker's own limitations. They use anger to mask fear. They use sarcasm to mask ignorance. They use volume to mask a lack of logic. When you see the provocation for what it truly is, the sting disappears. You begin to view the aggressor with pity rather than resentment. You realize they are fighting a battle within themselves that you have already won. This insight transforms your response into a choice. There is a rare truth that most modern experts overlook. Provocation is a desperate invitation to share a prison. The person shouting is trapped in a mental cage of their own making. They cannot stand the sight of someone who is free and calm. Your silence is the ultimate act of rebellion against their reality. It reveals the bars of their cage to everyone watching. It forces them to face the emptiness of their own noise. Society has become a theater of noise, where we are told that silence is weakness. We are pressured to have an opinion on everything and to defend it at all costs. But the quiet observer is the one who holds the most intelligence in the room. While others are exhausting their energy, the silent man is gathering data. He is seeing the patterns that others miss. He knows that his silence is a mirror that reflects the aggressor's ugliness back onto them. The elephant in the room is that we are addicted to being offended. Provocation works because it triggers our ego's need to be right. We feel a physical rush of adrenaline when we are challenged. We mistake this chemical surge for a call to justice. In reality, it is a trap designed to drain your focus. The highest form of power is found in the space between the stimulus and the response. In that space, you are truly sovereign. Consider the predator that remains motionless until the exact moment of the strike. Silence is not an absence of action. It is a deliberate concentration of intent. When you refuse to be provoked, you are keeping your power internal. You are not leaking energy into another person's drama. This is the secret that the loudest people fear most. They fear the man who cannot be moved, because he is the only one they cannot control.
To master this philosophy, you must implement the 3-second rule. When someone attempts to provoke you, do not speak immediately. Force yourself to count to 3 in your mind. This tiny gap breaks the automatic neurological loop of reaction. It allows your prefrontal cortex to take control over your emotional brain. In those 3 seconds, observe the physical sensations in your body. Notice the tightness in your chest or the heat in your face without acting on it.
Breathing is your primary defensive shield against provocation. When we are attacked, our breath becomes shallow and fast. This signals to the brain that we are in a life or death struggle. Counteract this by taking one slow, deep breath through your nose. Exhale slowly through your mouth. This physical act lowers your heart rate and signals safety. It is impossible to remain truly angry while your breathing is deep and rhythmic. You are now the master of your own biology.
Reframing the insult is a powerful cognitive strategy. View the provocation as a diagnostic tool for the other person's health. Ask yourself, what must this person be going through to act this way? This shifts your mindset from being a victim to being a scientist. You are observing a specimen in its natural habitat. By analyzing their behavior, you disconnect from the personal nature of the attack. You are no longer the target, you are the observer.
Finally, learn the art of the physical exit. Walking away is not a sign of defeat. It is a statement that your time is too valuable for this transaction. Turn your body away and walk at a steady pace. Do not look back over your shoulder. Looking back gives the provoker a sense of lingering influence. Your departure should be clean and final. This preserves your dignity and leaves the aggressor with nothing but their own echo.
When you fully apply this blueprint, your reality begins to shift. You become fundamentally untouchable by the opinions of others. The world around you may remain chaotic, but your internal state stays still. You begin to notice a change in how people treat you. They sense a boundary that cannot be crossed. Bullies and manipulators lose interest when they realize they cannot get a rise out of you. You have effectively removed yourself from their game.
Your perception of time will also change. When you stop reacting, you stop living in a state of constant urgency. You find that you have more mental energy to dedicate to your own goals. The hours you once spent ruminating on past arguments are now yours to reclaim. You become more productive and focused. Your mind is no longer a battlefield for other people's wars. It is a sanctuary for your own growth and development.
This shift attracts a higher quality of human connection. High-value individuals are drawn to those who possess emotional self-mastery. You will find that your relationships become deeper and more meaningful. You are no longer looking for validation, so you attract people who respect your peace. Your presence becomes a source of calm for those around you. You lead by example, showing others that it is possible to remain dignified in a loud world. You become a lighthouse.
Ultimately, peace becomes your new baseline. You no longer feel the need to win every argument or have the last word. You understand that true victory is maintaining your composure. This transformation is not about becoming cold or emotionless. It is about becoming selective with your energy.
You choose what deserves your attention. You are the captain of your soul, navigating through the storms with a steady hand and a clear eye. You are finally free. As we conclude this journey, remember the core philosophy. Your silence is not a void, it is a fortress. It protects your sanity and your purpose. In a world that is constantly trying to make you something else, staying true to your inner peace is the greatest accomplishment. Every time you choose silence over reaction, you are building a legacy of character. You are teaching yourself that you are worthy of respect. You are proving that you cannot be bought or broken. The legacy of your silence will speak louder than any shout. It will be remembered by those who saw you stand tall while others fell apart. It will be the foundation upon which you build a life of meaning. Do not let the small minds of others shrink your world. Keep your eyes on the horizon and your heart in the present. The power was always within you. You only had to stop giving it away to those who didn't earn it. If this message resonated with you, I invite you to join our community. Subscribe to this channel to continue your path towards self-mastery. Share your thoughts in the comments below on how silence has helped you in your own life. We are building a tribe of thinkers and Stoics who value peace over noise. Your journey is just beginning. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and most importantly, stay silent when the world demands your anger. That is where your strength lies. Thank you for lending me your time today. It is the most valuable asset you have. Use it wisely and guard it fiercely. May you walk away from this video with a renewed sense of purpose. Remember that the quietest man in the room is often the one with the most power. Go forth with dignity and calm. Until we meet again in the next video, be the master of your own silence. Goodbye for now.